Saxena ma'am, division graduate from Amity University. She has worked with multiple companies, starting her career at India Mart Intermesh Limited as a client service executive to presently working as a technical recruiter at Sumeru Solutions. I would like to welcome you once again for today's session, ma'am. My first question to you, ma'am, is about your experience as a human resource personnel pre and during COVID, and what changes have you seen in the recruitment process, especially because of the pandemic?
Hi everyone, good morning. My request to each and everyone would be that I know you are sitting in your beds, but please switch on your cameras. So at least I can see that you are listening to what this session says. And you can raise your queries in the chat as well. If anything you like, I would need to discover for you all. So please, I am open to questions. Hi Shreya, good morning.
Hi, good morning, ma'am.
She is not in bed at least.
No, no, not right now.
Okay. So, Akshay, your question was HR practices before and after COVID situation, right?
Yes, ma'am. And
So,
what are the changes that have taken place, especially because of the pandemic?
okay. So, everything was going well in the total scenario of the world working with the corporate culture till the March 2020. Then suddenly something known as coronavirus came and everything went online. Nothing like IT industry has boosted so much since then. Zoom's share gone so up. Microsoft Teams has gone up. I think you guys are also attending your classes online now. So working culture has completely changed. Before we used to get up and get ready and went to offices, had our discussions over in boarding meetings and then boarding rooms. Then now it's all over Teams. First of all, candidates, if I have to talk about HR practices in recruitment specifically, first thing was that people used to attend face-to-face interview. Now it's all gone virtual. Like you must be sitting somewhere, like this is the long weekend time, right? Because of Good Friday and Easter. So many people are working from some of the hill stations, they are vacationing. So this is one of the things which COVID has helped out, that you just need to carry your laptop and have some internet connection, and then you can just go and relax and work it out. You don't need to be at office at any time before it. You can it has given you flexible hours, so you can start working at any time and you just need to complete your daily working hours or the assignment you have been targeted to. This was not before the pre-COVID time, because if you have an assignment deadline, you have to finish it in the office only. But now everything has changed. This was the culture in many of the MNCs before also, but it was on a very lower level. As in, if you can say 10 to 15% only were doing this, but now it's almost 100%. I have many recruits who are like sitting in US and working for some of the India projects. So they don't need to visit India anymore. It's all gone virtual. Plus, it is giving you the flexibility to work at your own pace, and then secondly, it is giving you your freedom to work at anywhere. Now the challenge comes down to talent acquisition and recruitment only. Because of this, many candidates are like, or you can say people like you are willing to join with their colleges also. They are like free to join while attending their classes and doing some sort of internships, which I feel is not a challenge but is helping them boost their career line. At least they are brushing up their skills, which is a good time for them to learn and grow. The impactful thing is that many of the people who joined an organization like a fresher didn't got that much exposure which needed them to boost up their skill. When a manager is sitting in front of you and is guiding you, you get to learn better, because you have a fear that if you don't do it, he'll be like giving you a bad report. And now it's all over Google, you can search anything and then get it done. So this is some of the challenges which people have started facing. And then there is a lot of attrition at the moment. I hope you guys know the meaning of attrition at the moment. It's like employees, great resignation is the keyword which is now being used in HR industry. Masses of people are now resigning and getting new jobs due to this flexibility and other remote opportunities. third thing I would like to put on highlight is that women who had career breaks have started now working from home, and they are quite happy to be back on work. As in ladies who were on maternity breaks, or ladies who as in didn't got a job after getting married, are now back to working because they have work from home opportunity available. Any other thing you would like me to put on the light?
No,
I
I had a question about the Great
Akshay,
Resignation. Yes, ma'am.
okay, let her start, and then I think after some time you cannot. We let her tell her about her own career and everything, and then we can start with the questions. I think we'll
Okay.
be more comfortable.
Akshay, I'll put light to Great Resignation because that's in my slide too.
Yes,
That
the questions have already started pouring, but you can take the questions
Yeah.
after some time, Sonalika.
So that's the latest trend which is going on. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Please do let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, so I'll start with this. Is it visible?
No, ma'am, not right now.
Now, please check.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sonalika,
ma'am. Now it's visible.
Okay, so I'll just start with my introduction again. Hi everyone, good morning. I am Sonalika. I am a proper Delhiite, being born and brought up in Delhi. My schooling is from Delhi and attended Amity as usual because I'm now residing in Noida. I am an ASB alumni from 2014 to 2018. Started working with India Mart, as Akshay said, in January 2019 after passing out from December. Then, after working with India Mart, I realized marketing is not my domain at all because my majors was in HR and minor was in marketing. Client servicing also required some sort of sales skills, which I felt I didn't have. So I moved to my favorite thing, which was HR. Then joined Graphene Infotech after taking 3 month break due to some family issue. Then joined as an HR recruiter. So if I have to talk about Graphene Infotech, that was the actual journey of me as a HR recruiter. As Ruchika ma'am also said, Mr. Sagar Dixit would like to join. He is one of the most greatest mentors I have ever met. He taught me the basic of HR, from everything to being the most important person in the organization. People used to think that HR is only related to making rangolis, to be frank, but it is not. If you come down to smaller bits, HR also has smaller divisions, from sourcing to interviewing to documentation to background checks, and then to onboarding, and then to retention of that candidate, and then also development and training. So you must be studying these subjects in a very different manner, but when you break them down while working in the industry, they turn out to be something different. Don't mind everyone, I am not scaring you, but theoretical knowledge is also must, but it completely changes when you put it into physical work. So I left Graphene Infotech in last year only, in July, after a span of 1.6 years. Then moved to Sumeru, which is a total recruitment agency. We hire multiple we hire for multiple MNCs, including, if I have to name some, Virtusa Consultancy, then HCL, NEC. NEC is a Japanese telecom company, a very old one. Then I'm hiring for EY, hiring for Deloitte as well. The only problem is that I'm hiring for leadership roles now, not for the basic level entry guys. So this is my introduction, and then let's get started. I'll share the PPT to you now, the other one. Okay, so this is the topic we'll be highlighting today, that how talent acquisition is a plan of strategic human resource management and a key feature in international human resource management. Since I am hiring for multinationals now, so I know how it is a key feature in international human resource practices. So, any questions till now, anyone?
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
please.
you talked about international human resource policies right now, working
Yes.
with MNCs. So, if you could just give us a few points of how they're from domestic or Indian practices followed. I mean, is it the same practices that we have in India, or international human resource policy is completely different from what we follow here?
See, Akshay, they are on same page but with different levels of understanding. Right? We celebrate Indian festivals here. They don't have any leaves there. They only give you a like 2-3 weeks leaves in the Christmas time only. So MNCs don't give you any work from December till 15th January. You are free to enjoy. But in India, we only get to work whole year except the festivals we are celebrating. So it's basically the cultural difference which is there, but it's on the same page that people have the policies designed. Employee culture, work experience, learning and development, training, all these policies which we will study ahead or which we will discuss in future will have the same level of understanding but with cultural differences only. So the major point of understanding is that domestic and international human resources practices differ only on the culture practice, which you will notice in like few years coming from now that we are adapting US culture now of working, which was the flexible working hours. Right? Supposedly, I'll just give you an example. If you are a human resource manager in supposedly saying EY and you are working on a project which is from a US based client. So just think on a very common sense thing that what will be your working hours. अगर आप एक यूएस क्लाइंट के लिए काम कर रहे हो फॉर अ कंपनी विच इज सिचुएटेड इन विच इज इन इंडिया दैट इज EY, सो आपके वर्किंग आवर्स क्या होंगे?
Depending on the time zone, as in there'll be a huge difference in time zone if you're working from India.
That would be there, but your shift timing would be according to the client you are working for. So that is where the IHRM practices comes into play, that you will have to work according to the client you are working for.
Okay.
I hope this makes the point clear that it only comes down to the cultural differences. If you are eager to work for such a client, then you are good to go. Then people come with excuses that I'm not comfortable with night shift or I'm not comfortable to work for a US based client. I'm looking for someone who has a shift timing of Indian timing only. Yes, people like to work for Singaporean clients. Then they like to work for Australian clients because they do have somewhat similar time zones like India. Okay, so let's move forward. Do I need to explain you talent acquisition, or some of you can let me know what's talent acquisition? Anyone from the meeting, obviously except from the teachers.
Can I reply to that question?
Why don't others reply, Akshay? Any of your mates who is like totally into HR like you can reply. I will not judge you obviously, but you can let me know what is your understanding at the moment.
Ma'am, can I try?
Yeah, please switch on your camera and introduce yourself first. Hi, whosoever it is. Shreya.
Hello, ma'am. This is Shreya.
Hi.
So, ma'am, according to me, talent acquisition refers to like an HR process wherein we recruit, we tracking and interview the people, as well as onboarding and training is of the new employees would be done on that. So.
Okay, so I completely agree on that. Shreya, let me know, is talent acquisition and recruitment same?
Ma'am, talent acquisition is bigger term than a recruitment. So every process from the recruitment till the training of new employees and having them on board is the talent acquisition, whereas recruitment is only to the inviting of the candidates.
Cool, nice answer, I liked it. Then if I have to talk about, is my screen still visible?
Yes.
Okay, so where were we?
Ma'am, your screen has let's get started written on it. I mean, as of the first one.
Okay, so is it now visible, Akshay?
Not on my end, ma'am. It's still written. Let's get started with the
So
smiley.
Nalika, just share once again.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, I think it would be now.
Yes, it
Yes.
is fine now, visible.
So
Perfect.
if I have to talk about talent acquisition, as rightly said by Shreya, in a layman's term, it people generally say it to be recruitments only. But Shreya rightly said that it is a much bigger term than recruitments, because recruitments is just a process of talent acquisition, or you can say it's a step in talent acquisition process, right? So Shreya, let me know, did you Google it?
No, ma'am, even I do study, so yeah.
Okay, so the process Shreya told was rightly said by her. Recruitment is just a part of talent acquisition. Okay, so recruitment की general definition के according if we go, it's like only calling the or identifying the pool of talent, right? Whereas selection is selecting the best candidate out of it. And then talent acquisition comes to play, including everything. I need to share you the process, which is in the next slide. So let's check the slide. Am I clear till now, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the process which Shreya said is this. Okay, I'll put light to every step. Lead generation. First of all, lead generation is bidding of the project. If you talk about that, let's tell you this thing by an example. I am looking for an HR recruiter for one of my clients who is, say, EY. Or you can say, I am working for EY, but I have a project which is for some other MNC. So I need to hire a recruiter who can hire their people. So I'll start with lead generation. As in, lead generation can go from sourcing. You guys know the meaning of sourcing?
Students, please interact.
Please repeat.
Can anyone let me know the meaning of sourcing? Okay, not an issue since you guys are quite new to
Just
this.
a second, students, I believe there are some people's mic which is disabled. If you raise your hand, then I will unmute you. Okay, it is difficult for me to do it right now. So please raise your hand in case you want to speak. I will see what is the problem. Yes, Sarthak and Weber, please raise your hand.
Okay, so is anyone interested for letting me know what sourcing is?
I would say sourcing would be like finding or searching qualified candidates.
But that's
No,
recruitment, Akshay.
no, but from a particular, let's say, platform like LinkedIn, or I mean, if I'm not wrong, sourcing could be collecting information or collecting or finding suitable candidates from a particular area or web or a.
You are going on the right path now. Sourcing is basically, you can say, procurement. You understand what procurement is? Procurement is collection of raw data, right? So sourcing would be basically calling out to everyone who would be interested for the position. That's sourcing, right? As in, if you are like total 120 students here at the moment and I'm hiring for a particular position, so what I'll do, I'll put out a notice or put out my sourcing material that, or put out a notice that I'm looking for someone who is interested for this role, and this would be the package they are offering and these are the skills. So that would be sourcing. Now, if out of that 120, if I have 80 particular CVs with me, or you can say resumes with me, then I'll start calling out for recruitment process. So sourcing is a part of recruitment. Got my point now?
Yes.
Sourcing basically happens before recruitments, that you call out for multiple candidates, or you can say it's basically calling out a pool of candidates. Okay, so sourcing is done basically on the key skills part. if I have to find someone who has done MBA in HR, then that would be my key skill which I am searching for, that I am looking for a particular educational criteria here. So sourcing will help me out. Those people who are not into MBA HR are out of my league. As in, I do not have to call them anymore. I only have to focus on the people who have done MBA in HR. So out of 100 talent pool, my talent pool becomes 50 now. So which has helped me save my time after using that keyword that I need to find someone with an MBA in HR. Then I'll start calling you guys if you are interested for the position who are with MBA HR. Then that is called attraction. That I'm calling you and telling you about the opportunity. So out of 50, if I have 20 candidates who are interested for the position, so they are attracted to the job opening now. So that is attraction. Then comes recruiting. I will let you know everything about the position, the JD, and then I will start with the interviewing process. Since recruitment includes interviewing, then I'll be interviewing you on different skills. Also, not to mention the assignments which we study in the recruitment process, such as assessment test, personality test, psychological test, physiological tests, medical tests, are like very less in functioning now. People don't go now for tests until they are conducting a drive. Drive means calling out mass candidates for a position. Then they allow you to go to these assignment thing. But if I am having one-to-one conversation regarding a particular position, I'll directly interview you. Anyone, any questions as of now?
Yashika, I think Yashika had her hand raised. Yashika, can you unmute?
Morning, may I have a question?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Please introduce yourself first.
Rajesh sir.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm a student of HR. I'm learning from Sonalika. Sonalika, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So the question is, I am just trying to open my camera, but this is not working, right? So I apologize for that.
Not an issue, sir.
The question is, Sonalika,
Yes.
what according to you, as per your experiences, and I first take a reference, the biggest training program ever in the world is Gita, right? And that's why we take sometimes Gita way heard a lot of times. No, people are utilizing this word Gita way. And management is all about economics and psychology. Lord Krishna eliminated, and I mean, any confusion. There were lot many confusions in the mind of Arjun. So Lord Krishna eliminated all those confusions. But Arjun was quite capable. Lord Krishna recruited a person to fight against Kauravas, where Arjun was capable, quite capable. What according to you, Sonalika, you have got many experiences. क्या lacking है हमारे education में? Akshay is there. I will ask a question to Akshay also today. क्या lacking है हमारे education में? What is missing here at ASB in management education जो नहीं हो पा रहा है? I mean, I'm indicating towards industry exposure. जैसे I liked it, Sonalika said that this is not all about book knowledge, है ना? We have to practice something else. तो क्या मिसिंग है, क्या होना चाहिए? एक चीज वो क्या मिसिंग है एएसबी के एजुकेशन में, हम दूसरे की बात नहीं करेंगे. दो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन, यहाँ पे क्या मिसिंग है विच इज नॉट मीटिंग इंडस्ट्री रिक्वायरमेंट इज माय क्वेश्चन. क्या कंफ्यूजन है, कौन लॉर्ड कृष्णा होगा, कौन दूर करेगा इसको?
सर लॉर्ड कृष्णा तो आई डोंट नो, क्योंकि व्हेन इट कम्स टू करंट सिनेरियोज अब हमें एवरीथिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो करनी चाहिए. फर्स्टली आई बिलीव सिंस हमने सब कुछ प्रैक्टिसेस अब अकॉर्डिंग टू जो भी पूरे वर्ल्ड में हो रहा है वो एक्सेप्ट कर लिए, तो हमें अपना एजुकेशन सिस्टम भी उसके टूवर्ड्स मूव कर देना चाहिए. फर्स्टली आई वुड लाइक टू से मतलब जस्ट मेरा सजेशन है, आई एम नॉट श्योर ये डुअल के बच्चे हैं कि नहीं. डुअल में वी हैव 4.5 ईयर्स ऑफ टोटल सेमेस्टर थिंग. मेरा बस एक सजेशन है, आई एम नॉट थिंक कि आप ऐसा कर ही लो. जो हमारा लास्ट 6 मंथ्स होता है ना, जिसमें हमारे सब्जेक्ट्स कम होते हैं, आई वुड से हमें उसको प्रॉपर इंटर्नशिप कर देना चाहिए.
ये नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में है ये.
कि एटलीस्ट स्टूडेंट्स को वो जो 6 मंथ का टाइम है ना, उसमें बस वो सिर्फ अपने पेपर्स देने आए, बाकी जितना भी, और वो डेजर्टेशन जो बनाए ना, वो डेजर्टेशन भी वो प्रॉपर उसी एक्सपोजर पे बनाए जो उन्होंने 6 मंथ्स की इंटर्नशिप करी है। क्योंकि उससे उनके चांसेस जो होते हैं ना प्री प्लेसमेंट ऑफर्स के, वो बहुत ज़्यादा रेज हो जाते हैं। अगर उससे करेंगे तो उससे उनका क्या होगा, वो जो चीज़ हम मतलब दिस इज द थिंग विच आई फेस, जैसे कि मैंने स्टार्टिंग में ही बोला था कि व्हेन आई पास्ड आउट एंड जॉइन इंडिया मार्ट, आई वाज लाइक अ टोटल फूल। मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कैसे ऐसे 9 to 6 बैठना पड़ता है ऑफिस में यार, आपको प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना पड़ता है हर चीज़ का। हमारा तो कॉलेज में ऐसा रहता था, क्लास अटेंड करते थे, फिर ब्रेक पे चले जाते थे, फिर आते थे, फिर चले जाते थे। ऑफिस पे यू कैन नॉट टेक सो मच ब्रेक, यू हैव टू सिट देयर। और जब मन किया क्लास मिस कर दी, ऑफिस आप थोड़ी रोज मिस कर सकते हो। तो अगर हम 6 मंथ के पीरियड में कहीं भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ज्वाइन कर लेंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर इंटरेस्ट या स्किल, तो हमें एक पंक्चुअलिटी, एक कॉन्फिडेंस और एक पर्सनालिटी में चेंज दिखेगा, जो कि हमें बाद में आता है अगर हम वो पहले ही अडेप्ट कर लें। क्योंकि सर आई विल बी वेरी फ्रैंक, आप 120 जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स अभी प्रेजेंट है उनसे पूछिए कि जितनी भी इंटर्नशिप उन्होंने करी है कितनी जेन्युइन करी है और कितनी नहीं करी।
एग्जैक्टली आई एग्री।
तो डोंट माइंड टीचर्स, क्योंकि हमने 3 करी थी, उसमें से मैंने 2 ही करी थी। तो तो ये रहता है कि क्योंकि आप जब इंटर्नशिप करते हो ना, तो वो लोग भी आपको ऑफिस में ऐसा समझते हैं कि अच्छा इंटर्नशिप ही तो कर रहा है। बट जब आप प्रॉपर एक यूनिफॉर्म वे में जाके करते हो हर चीज़, तो आपको भी वो काम ज़्यादा देने लगते हैं, आपको समझाने लगते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली।
आई फील ये चीज़ ना, वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड वॉज इन आई थिंक US, ही वॉज डूइंग हिज मास्टर्स, ही वॉज अ साइंस स्टूडेंट, मेरा स्कूल फ्रेंड था वो। तो जब व्हेन आई सॉ हिम केम बैक टू इंडिया, ही वॉज लाइक अ टोटल डिफरेंट पर्सनैलिटी।
करेक्ट।
क्योंकि उसके कॉलेज में ऐसा था कि उसे हर सेमेस्टर के बाद, मतलब हर सेमेस्टर में ही उसको कुछ पॉइंट्स कलेक्ट करने होते थे जो कि इंटर्नशिप के थ्रू ही मिलते थे।
एग्जैक्टली।
तो आई फील ये चीज़ हम लोग लाइक, मतलब ये ASB में ही नहीं, ये ऑल ओवर जितने इंडिया में कॉलेजेस हैं कहीं भी नहीं है, एक्सेप्ट ऑब्वियसली IIMs इफ आई हैव टू टॉक अबाउट।
राइट।
तो वो चीज़ अगर IIMs अडेप्ट कर सकता है तो हम भी कर सकते हैं, वी आर नो लेस देन IIM।
So I got a point that training is very important, industry exposure is very important, right? जितनी बड़ी ट्रेनिंग होगी उतनी कम फाइट आगे होगी। गीता ट्रेनिंग वाज वेरी लॉन्ग, सो फाइट 18 दिन की होकर रहेगी सिर्फ। ठीक है। अक्सर क्वेश्चन आपसे है कि व्हाट अबाउट स्टूडेंट्स एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स एक्सपोजर एंड ऑल। हार्वर्ड इज 80-20, 80% इंडस्ट्री एक्सपोजर, 20% क्लासरूम टीचिंग, सो लर्निंग आउटकम इज वेरी हाई। ठीक।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gita way, Lord Krishna was lower manager, lower management, top everybody. He was everybody, right? He answered all the questions. Lekin at the same point of time, I appreciate Arjun's questioning skill also. He has knowledge, right? What about you people? You know, I mean, your attitude about towards all these. I mean, attitude. I mean, I would like to. I mean, request Sonalika to intervene in between if there is some missing point. कि बच्चों का एटीट्यूड इतना डिफरेंट क्यों है, इस एटीट्यूड को भी अलाइन करने में मेहनत होगी। व्हाई दिस इज नॉट हैपनिंग? इज इट, एम आई राइट और नॉट? एक्सेप्ट फर्स्ट।
So you are right, sir. I mean, I will not disagree with you. But
Rajesh sir
See,
has
sir,
made a very
Sonalika
important
is here
point.
to talk about acquisition of the talent which is existing. Like she is like here not responsible. On a lighter side, I'm saying she is not responsible for giving suggestion on creating the talent, isn't it, Richama?
Of course, but yes, Rajesh sir has some relevant question because
He has concern.
yes, behavioral part is very important for an HR person. They should understand and they need to understand the right kind of attitude which is required for working. So we have one one ASB student who is being asked the question, and there is one who is an ex-ASB student. So both of them can, and
Mona
both are
madam,
very talented students. Even Akshay is a very sincere student, and Sonalika we all know about.
Rajesh sir is saying something.
मोना मैडम गुड मॉर्निंग। एक्चुअली सोनालिका हैज गॉट मेनी एक्सपीरियंसेस, तो कुछ सीखने की कोशिश मैं भी कर रहा हूँ, कुछ मिल जाएगा मेरे को। दैट इज व्हाट द
Okay,
पॉइंट।
Sonalika, may I ask you a question at
Yes,
this
ma'am.
point? Yeah,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
now as we are using a technology, because of the technology, we are working from home and all. And as far as the we require a blend of the skills, like you being the practitioners of this, like you might be having some talents of your own, right? Thinking strategically, and then making use of these softwares, because this is a challenge right this at this time, that how to blend these two things. One is the biological things and another one is the technology. So in this profession and in the experience so far, particularly in the COVID-19, since that, how you are blending with this, what exposure have you got in this?
Okay. So, firstly, Rajesh sir and Mona ma'am, I'll answer both of your questions because answers to both of the things would be quite similar. As Mona ma'am said, due to this COVID thing, technology has come into light a lot. I feel these students of today who will be like coming into professions tomorrow are like totally tech savvy. So we guys didn't had to like struggle so much when we were going from offline mode to virtual mode. We were quite easy with it. But if I have to talk about my mother, she was in teaching profession. She was working with Khetan. Then suddenly online thing came, and she was like total into non-tech. Then I used to like teach her everything, that this is how you start a class, this is how you share your screen. So it is like you have to adapt to the current scenario which is going on. If you don't have the adaptability today, you will not be able to survive. If I have to give you an example, it would be like if someone known as A is a CA qualified in 2014, he cannot work on those practices as of 2022 because the practices and the laws has everything changed. So he has to be, or certain new rules or acts have come up, so he has to be adaptable to those to apply those things in the real world scenario today. Otherwise he'll be working, he cannot grow in this industry today. So for these students who are quite tech savvy, I believe one must not be sitting here, but he can show you that he's sitting here. So we have those kind of minds at the moment. We know all the cheats today, that this is how I can do it. That frankly speaking, I have my fun Fridays every day, as on every Friday. I just on my mic and then go. So this is what technology has changed for us, that we do not need to be always be there. For students, my only suggestion would be to be at least updated with what everything is going on in this world, from news to general knowledge to everything, including digital marketing. Since digital marketing is coming into light these days, if you guys could have some sort of certifications into digital marketing or some sort of knowledge into cloud based categories, if I have to talk about HR people, Akshay, yeah, you specifically to Akshay, since he is too much into HR, and to other students who are, Oracle HCM is a tool which you guys should learn. It's
I
Yeah.
can
basically
see Unnati Jain has raised the hand, like she wants
uh,
to say something. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, Sonalika. I just wanted to ask a question. So since I've also done a lot of internships in the recruitment role, so I wanted to ask, when we're getting the candidates on board, like when we post the job, so we get a few candidates, but most of them are not genuine ones. Like they just apply for the sake of it without even reading the job description and just see the title and apply, right? So I think that must be happening in organizations as well. And I just wanted to ask, how does an organization overcome with that sort of problem? Because it is a huge waste of time and efforts for a
thanks.
recruiter.
Hope you are doing well. I felt you have genuinely done internship, because this is a question which can only come if you have only worked, because this is actually a genuine problem. Supposedly, then what comes, your answer to it is simple: to search the candidate's resume, as in do not call every candidate. What I do is that I just search the key skills in their CV. if I am hiring for someone into finance management role, then I am looking the key skills I am looking for that he should have done auditing. अगर उसके सीवी में आप कंट्रोल एफ दबा के ऑडिटिंग सर्च कर लोगे, अगर 10 बार आ रहा है तो इसका मतलब उसने कर रखा है ना काम.
Right.
उसी कैंडिडेट को कॉल करो जिसका रेज्यूम में आपको सबसे ज्यादा वो कीवर्ड दिख रहा है, क्योंकि वो कीवर्ड उसके रेज्यूम में तभी होगा जब उसने उस पर काम किया होगा. नहीं तो बहुत से लोग सिर्फ की स्किल में लिख के छोड़ देते.
Correct. And like,
इज अ वे
what are the
आप अपना टाइम बचा सकते हो इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग ईच एंड एवरी कैंडिडेट.
right? And like, what are the key things that you look for when you're screening a CV?
As I said, key skill should be mentioned in a very proper way. As in ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ लिख दिया that he is responsible for auditing. Auditing of what? Auditing of accounts or auditing of the internal business units accounts. Whatever you are auditing, please mention it. I feel people just make resumes without anything. They just mention कि वो क्या क्या जानते हैं, ये नहीं लिखते कि क्या क्या करते हैं. अगर आप ये चीज पे फोकस करोगे ना, दैट व्हाट यू नो एंड व्हाट यू डू, that would be much more easier for any talent acquisition practitioner or any recruiter to get more in touch with you.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Rajesh sir, Akshay was telling you something.
Yes, please.
Me, sir, I thought I'm not sure, sir, how to answer this question. I can only agree with what Sonalika ma'am said, and I only agree with what Rajesh sir said. But I am not at this point of able to answer this question. I'll inform you in class, sir, on Monday.
Okay.
Akshay, I'd like to intervene. First of all, प्लीज स्टूडेंट्स मैम मत बोलो यार. आई एम लाइक ओनली 26, तो अच्छा नहीं लगता मैम. सेकेंडली, टू आंसरिंग सर्स क्वेश्चन, हार्वर्ड का रूल है 80% वर्क एक्सपीरियंस और 20% लर्निंग. वो 20% लर्निंग जब वो 80% में पुट इन करते हैं तो उनका एक नेक्स्ट प्रूफ निकल कर आता है विच इज़ लाइक ब्रिंगिंग यू आउट द बेस्ट टैलेंट. तो हमारे यहाँ पे वो चीज़ उल्टी है. In Indian culture, we have 80% classroom theories and then 20% of working experience. अगर हम उसको कहीं भी 50-50 भी मैनेज कर लेंगे या 60-40 भी कर लेंगे कि 60% क्लासरूम थ्योरीज और 40% इंटर्नशिप या जो भी वर्किंग एक्सपीरियंस है, तो वी कुड इजीली मैच देयर लेवल.
Right.
अभी रेशो बहुत ज़्यादा वेरी करता है, क्योंकि जब तक आप अपनी लर्निंग जो भी आपका थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज है उससे अगर वर्किंग एक्सपीरियंस में नहीं पुट इन करोगे तो नहीं होगा.
सही बात है. Thank you, Sonalika. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mona ma'am, I hope I have answered your question.
I think she is unable to unmute. You can just go ahead and she'll join, I think.
So coming back to what we were discussing, then interview process starts, right? Supposedly, my question would be to, if I'm not wrong, your name was Unnati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Unnati, since you have done internships into recruitments, were you only handling the sourcing part or you were also handling the interviewing process?
No, I did handle the interview. It was a startup, so I was handling the entire HR department. So I did all the onboarding as well.
So you did actually interview candidates?
Yes.
Okay, and to be precise, what role were you like hiring for?
Mainly graphic designers and content writers, also social media marketing
So
profiles.
you were placed at a digital marketing agency?
It is an internet-based company.
Yeah, that's digital marketing only. So because
it was really, digital marketing is very specific, but it was basically a startup about a social media platform that they're building. So it was that.
Okay.
It's still on a very basic level right now.
So Unnati, supposedly I have applied to the same position. What question would you ask me?
For which profile?
Just take it to be a content writer.
All right. I think I'll ask you about the kind of creativity that you believe that you have.
And what answer you expect me to give you, because how can you judge my creativity?
All right. So when I took interviews of creative writing interns, so content writing interns, so my first question was of course to introduce themselves and give a brief description of their academic qualification and work experiences. And after that, when they told me about certain experiences, so I would pinpoint the ones that were written down on the CV, and I would ask them how exactly did they manage their role over there, if that was a leadership role, or what exactly they got out of that role.
Okay, so just a suggestion, Unnati, since
Yeah.
I brief, my career path was with Graphene Infotech. That was a digital marketing agency only. So I hired
Okay.
for the same profiles for which you hired, including people for content writers, digital marketing managers, SEO, social media managers, then two developers, right? So what I used to do when a content writer came, these were the basic questions you asked. My suggestion to you,
Yeah.
if you like get placed into a digital marketing agency next, would be just ask that person to check their creativity level. Would be just give you a tagline for a bottle which has to be launched within purple color, so you will get to know whether he's creative or not.
All right. Like you're saying that we should ask them a particular case scenario, give them a scenario so that
As
they
in,
can reflect.
see, creative writer's profile, as in you have to check whether the person can do what he is saying he can do, right? So how you can check is
Yeah.
that tell him to do it in front of you. If I have to if you if supposedly if Shruti, right, or Shreya says me that she is very good with accounts, I'll just tell her to give me a journal entry for bank. I have withdrawn money from bank account. If she is really into accounts, she could be giving it in like 2 minutes to me. So that's
Right.
how I think that this is the easiest way to judge someone's capability or the skill, right? So see, this is not theoretical knowledge, because this is the practical knowledge which that person is doing in his role.
Yeah.
अगर वो अकाउंट की बंदी है तो वो जनरल लेजर की एंट्री करती होगी, तो उसे एंट्री तो याद होनी चाहिए. अगर कोई आप क्रिएटिव राइटर हायर कर रहे हो, इफ दैट पर्सन इज इनटू क्रिएटिव राइटिंग, वो आपको एक न्यूज़पेपर की हेडलाइन 2 मिनट में दे देगा बना के, क्योंकि उसी चीज में तो वो काम कर रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
यही चीज अगर आप मुझे बोलोगे तो मुझे थोड़ा सोचने में टाइम लगेगा, क्योंकि वो मेरा डोमेन ही नहीं है. So this is how you can like be sure whether the candidate is a good resource in 10 minutes or not. Otherwise, interviewing process takes at least half an hour or 40 minutes while interviewing each candidate. That is a waste of time. Right,
True.
Unnati?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now moving ahead, after interviewing process, there are multiple levels of interview. Since Unnati was taking the very basic interview, I hope her organization had another level of interview as well. Then coming down to references check frankly speaking कभी नहीं होता ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. बस आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को एक मेल जाता है आपकी प्रीवियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, मतलब दिस इज व्हाट एक्चुअली हैपेंस इन द इंडस्ट्री. लेकिन ऐसा कभी आप बोलना नहीं किसी को कि होता नहीं है, होता है. एक मेल जाता है बस आपकी प्रीवियस एम्प्लॉयर को, वेदर दिस पर्सन वॉज वर्किंग विद यू और नॉट. समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है रेफरेंसेस चेक का रिप्लाई ही नहीं आता है, but the candidate still gets selected and gets onboarded because he gives proof of his employment, as in by showing us the documents. So a point to be noted, students, here is that keep your documents, as in your internship documents and any other letter of recommendations, संभाल के रख लेना उनको, कभी खोने मत देना. You guys can have a copy of it and put it in your email drafts. Then after references check is done and the candidate, as in references check का अगर reply आ जाता है, and then we move ahead, then we release the offer letter. Offer letter से पहले होता है एक documentation process जो कि help करता है references check के लिए. Supposedly, if I have to say that
अरे पोछा मार रही है। हाँ कर दीजिए, सब धीरा कर दीजिए।
I think यहाँ पे पूजा वाला सीन होने वाला है. So moving ahead.
Oh, I think Adrian, I muted. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah. So then after offer letter is released, अब यहाँ पे एक सिनेरियो आता है जो कि आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा चल रहा है. That is ditching game. If I have to talk about, please any one of the students give me your name and the desired role you wish you get.
My name is Akshay, and I would like to be an HR analyst.
Okay. So Akshay, and what is your desired company?
Desired company would be Infosys.
Okay. Akshay, I'll tell you, Infosys is not paying too much these days. So not to worry, because you are on the starting phase, but you will get there. Not to worry. I wish all the best. So let's take a scenario here. Akshay wants to be an HR analyst and wants to get interviewed for Infosys. So he is currently working with Deloitte at the moment, and he gets selected for Infosys for the position of an HR analyst, supposedly for a 15 lakh rupees per annum role, right? Then Akshay is about to get another offer letter at the moment from a company which is Bank of America, and Akshay is offered as a senior HR analyst role there with a sum amount of 12 lakh rupees per annum. So now Akshay has two offers in hand. One is from Bank of America of 12 LPA and another one is from Infosys for rupees 15 LPA with a role of only HR analyst. So just a question. Akshay won't answer this. We'll get back to Akshay later. What's everybody say that Akshay कौन सी organization जाएगा?
I say Bank of America.
Unnati says Bank of America, and why?
Because he's getting a higher position over there. He'll earn the money later on as well with some raises and promotions, but that's like one step ahead of what the role he's doing. So I think he should go for Bank of America.
Anyone else with any other idea of where he'll go? What is our teacher's take on it? That where will Akshay go?
So Nalika, I just missed your question. Yashika wants to answer, but before me.
Yeah, please, Yashika.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Yashika.
Ma'am, I think he should choose the company where he is being offered the senior HR analyst role.
Okay. Only because he's getting a designation higher.
Yes, ma'am, designation higher, and at the same time, if he's getting the designation higher, the responsibilities also lay in the same level. So again, if he gets this same amount of responsibility and authority as well, so for him, the next company he will be offered would be a good company, I think, because he has the potential and the capability, or maybe the experience, you could say.
Okay. So Yashika and Unnati both says it to be Bank of America. Okay. Richa ma'am, my question was that Akshay is selected for two organizations. One is his dream company, that is Infosys, with the role of an HR analyst with 15 lakhs per annum. and the other offer he's getting is from Bank of America with 12 lakhs per annum, but the position is for a senior analyst, senior HR analyst. So where would he go according to you?
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Okay. Difficult to say, and here I will take a different take, and it is not about for me it is different, and I do think that you should follow your dreams, and you should go for what you have thought about. Okay, so if Infosys was what you wanted to be, where you wanted to be, and some risks in life are okay, but there are things that we think about for a long time, and I'm a behavior teacher more than an HR person, so I would definitely ask him to join Infosys. uh, Maybe even if the pay is not very different, and it is doesn't make a much of a difference there, even it would be lower than there, I would have suggested. So my take is different.
Okay. So now Richa ma'am says it to be Infosys, and Yashika and Unnati says it to be Bank of America.
May I also answer, Sonalika?
Yes, sir. Bilkul.
I think Infosys, because I am thinking on the same path what Richa madam stated. We should carry our dream, because at the stage of joining or anything, what we learn is more than what we earn. And Akshay will be satisfied with his dream, because dream mil gaya to everything is okay. He may lose it in Bank of America, but he will gain surely in Infosys, I'm sure.
Okay. So it's like two all. Now anyone who wants to take before Akshay answers this question.
Amol, you want to also say something? Amol Chaudhary? Okay, no problem. Okay, please continue.
So let me just take my take on him now. Since I would say Akshay wanted to go for Infosys, as asked, who does not want to go to the dream company? So my suggestion would be to go for Infosys. So it's like 3-2. Now coming back to Akshay. Akshay, your choice.
I would say Infosys only, ma'am. I was because that's my dream company. I've been thinking that for like last 3 years. That that is my aim, first aim, and nothing else. If that and only that, no alternative other than that.
Okay,
So
so whether Infosys is offering you, as stated by Unnati and Yashika, that you are getting a job a level lower. So will you be comfortable there? Whether you are getting a dream company or not? Because they rightly said that you are getting a position higher. You will be able to lead a team. You will be getting more exposure there. Though the pay is only 3 lakh rupees less, but you are getting a role.
that question for me, ma'am.
Yes. That why did you choose Infosys? Because they rightly pointed out that you are getting a role higher.
It's not about a higher role, ma'am. It's more about the work ethic, I believe, that they have, the brand name, and also I believe that if you be, personally, I mean, it might sound a bit kiddish, though. I mean, the first 2 points I believe are not kiddish. When I talk about that, there is a brand name, and that I believe that the work ethic at Infosys is way better. But the third point being, which is slightly kiddish, that it has been my dream for quite some time. So, I mean, I do not see why I should go for something higher when I'm, happy with something that, if I'm fulfilling my dream. Though my first 2 points way more weightage, my third point is like only 10% of weightage to that, not even 5% of weightage to that question that you asked.
Infosys is a established brand.
May I add something to Akshay's statement?
Yes, sir.
We have an example, last day, few days back, BJP and Samajwadi Party both, fought in UP, Uttar Pradesh, and BJP came into the existence. Where Akhilesh Yadav has two options. As he had to retain as member parliament, or he was willing to have a position in MLA position in UP. He chose MLA, lower position than a member parliament. Just to, this is all about his strategy. he want to get his dream fulfilled in future. So he want to strategize, or he is leader opposition in Uttar Pradesh just to fight against BJP, right? So this is all about your our political approach, not as diplomat. So Akshay, I think you are also realizing like this.
Yes, sir.
Lower position with longer perspective, greater perspective, and your long vision, I think.
Yes, sir.
Right. This is my addition to Akshay's statement. Thank you.
Just to give you an insight, Akshay, Infosys retention policy is quite amazing. My offered candidates don't join me if they are working for Infosys. They get
Yes,
retained.
yes, you're right. So Infosys and Tata both have got very low attrition rate. I mean, retention policy is very nice in the world.
Sir, I
I
know
agree.
many of the offered candidates told me on the last working day of their organization that we are not joining because we are getting retained. So I know what that is why I chose Akshay to choose as in I said to that he will go for Infosys only because at this point of time you should not see the role at the moment. You should see the learning you will be getting from anywhere. आपका रोल भले ही उधर सीनियर था लेकिन आपको अभी तक जॉब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज पता थी कि आपको यही करना है लेकिन आपको उधर का वर्किंग कल्चर नहीं पता था मे बी आपका इन्फोसिस में कोई जानने वाला था तो आपको पता था कि वहाँ पे कैसा काम होता है इसलिए तो आपकी वो ड्रीम कंपनी थी ना तो आप अभी अपने ड्रीम्स की तरफ बढ़ो अपने स्किल्स इम्प्रूव करो रोल अपने आप आएगा I have seen students with as in candidates with only 4 years of experience leading a team जिसमें जो बाकी team members होते हैं ना उन्हें 10 years का experience होता है तो जिस वे पे आप begin करते हो और अपने skills को improve करते हो you can be a team lead in like only 2 years also so choose your dreams but improve your skills so what my point was of this discussion was that since he had two options he chose Infosys and ditched Bank of America. So he was hired for Infosys and Bank of America was left with no one to join. So this is what is happening today in this world scenario that there is a lot of ditching games. We called it to be ditching games that the candidates has ditched us and join another organization. So any questions as of now, anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so moving ahead.
Sonakshi, I don't have a question, but I have something to say. You okay? By the way, you are asking questions. I think that you are doing really good at your work, and you have been really, you know how to put the candidate in the wrong position. So you have you have done a great job doing that.
Thank you, ma'am. Like this is what I've been doing since last 2.5 years.
So I think all those who want to be recruiters into talent acquisition should learn from her. So you have to understand how to ask the right questions.
That's why I guided Unnati to do that because उसको past experience अच्छा था. I really liked जो उन्होंने question पूछा about कि बहुत से unnecessary CVs भी आते हैं आपके पास at a job post. तो आप कैसे अपना time बचा सकते हो? So I really liked it.
Yes, and the examples are really relevant, Sonalika. Thank you.
So
I think
thank you, ma'am.
Thank
yes.
you so much, Sonalika Dee, for all the guidance, and I hope we can connect on LinkedIn for the
Sure.
same too.
Unnati, I would suggest try to get in touch with Mr. Sagar Dixit. He might be looking for you because he's looking for my replacement since long, and he's telling me to come back. But now I'm
Alright.
at a very comfortable position.
I'll definitely give it a shot.
Ma'am.
See,
So,
what more can you ask from an alumni, your senior? So this is a very good platform for all students.
so be in touch with Ruchika ma'am as well, Unnati. He can get you his number as well.
Alright, sure.
He's the senior recruiter. He's actually the founder of the company, but he's taking care of the recruitment and operations there. Also, the HR manager, as in, she's a very good friend of mine. We were colleagues, but we were like friends there. So her name is Rashmi Mahalwar. You can also get in touch with her over LinkedIn. Okay.
Alright, I will definitely do that.
Yeah. anyone else who would like to just apply and get some sort of insights into what industry is and recruitment is, you can definitely apply. See, I would have told you to apply to Sumeru, but we are a recruitment agency and we don't hire for ourselves. So I cannot tell you. We hire for as an MNC. So that is why I'm telling you to apply to Graphene at least. Then moving ahead, let's see how talent acquisition is related to SHRM. Right? So SHRM, as the name suggests only, it's strategic human resource management. टैलेंट एक्विजिशन भी यार एक स्ट्रैटेजी है. अगर आपके पास स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है ना इस वर्ल्ड में, तो आप कुछ नहीं अचीव कर सकते. आपके पास स्किल होगा, आपके पास नॉलेज होगी, लेकिन अगर आपके पास स्ट्रैटेजी या प्लान नहीं होगा कि अगर आप उसे कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करो, आप नहीं कर पाओगे. सो दिस इज वेयर थिंग्स कम. सो as stated by Jim Rohn, this is the quote which I picked up for you, that success is 20% skills and success is 20% skills and 80% strategy. तो अगर अक्षय को HR एनालिस्ट के रोल में सक्सेसफुल होना है, तो उसको बस स्ट्रैटेजी चाहिए कि वो कैसे काम करवाएगा और करेगा, so that he can get promotion and hike easily. Right? So moving ahead, it's strategic talent acquisition. If I have to talk about talent acquisition in strategic human resource management. So strategic human resource management, I don't need to explain you guys, you are like very well aware. हर चीज़ में आजकल लाइफ हमारी बिना स्ट्रैटेजी की नहीं चलती है. स्ट्रैटेजी और प्लान तो हम भी बनाते हैं जब हमें कोई कोर्स कवर करना होता है पेपर से पहले, कि यार ये मॉड्यूल 5 इंपॉर्टेंट है, मॉड्यूल 5 कर देता हूँ, उसके बाद मॉड्यूल 2 ना सुबह ही करूँगा पेपर से पहले, छोटा सा ही है. तो हम ये स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ पेपर करते हैं. या दूसरी स्ट्रैटेजी हम ये करते हैं कि सेक्शन सी पहले करेंगे यार, उसमें 20 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आता है. तो हर चीज़ में स्ट्रैटेजी लगती है. सक्सेस अपने आप आएगी अगर स्ट्रैटेजी उसमें होगी, तो ये चीज़ हमेशा याद रखना. देन मूविंग अहेड, एक वर्ड होता है टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट, जो कि टैलेंट एक्विजिशन के बाद आता है. टैलेंट तो आपने एक्वायर कर लिया, लेकिन आप उसे मेंटेन कैसे करोगे, उसे मैनेज कैसे करोगे. उसे मैनेज करने के लिए आपको उसको एक अच्छा कल्चर देना पड़ेगा, आपको उसे मैनेज करने के लिए एक अच्छी ट्रेनिंग देनी पड़ेगी, उसको टाइमली इंसेंटिव्स देने पड़ेंगे, उसे टाइमली अप्रिसिएशन देना पड़ेगा. अगर आप कोई काम करे जा रहे हो तभी अगर उसकी आपको अप्रिसिएशन नहीं मिलेगी, आप डीमोटिवेट फील करोगे. फिर आपको क्या होगा, आप दूसरी कंपनीज में अप्लाई करोगे कि यार मैं तो इस कंपनी में 6 साल से हूँ, मेरी डेजिग्नेशन तो अभी भी सिर्फ HR मैनेजर ही है, कम मुझे सीनियर HR मैनेजर बनाएंगे, क्योंकि आपकी वहाँ पे रिकॉग्निशन नहीं है, आपका वहाँ पे अप्रिसिएशन नहीं है. तो इवेंचुअली यू लीव दैट. सो दैट कंपनी फेल्ड टू मैनेज देयर टैलेंट. टैलेंट तो उन्होंने एक्वायर कर लिया था 6 साल पहले, लेकिन उसे मैनेज नहीं कर पाएगा. सो दिस इज व्हाट it is very necessary to both acquire the talent and to manage it, so that there is a lot of retention in your company. Otherwise the attrition would be there, and that is too much these days. मेरी है अभी तक किसी को भी? आई होप मैंने बहुत इजीली समझा दिया है टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट और एक्विजिशन.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions, anyone, as of now?
No, ma'am, not as of now.
बाकी सब सो रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं मैम, उनका माइक आई गेस डिसेबल्ड है कईयों का, because they are attendees.
श्रेया और दाशिका ही बात कर रहे हैं यार, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. आई एम अ वेरी टॉकेटिव पर्सन, और मेरा बस ये सजेशन है, HR पर्सन शुड बी टॉकेटिव, तभी वो.
Students, if anyone has a problem in unmuting, please drop me a message or write in the chat. I will just try to see what is the problem.
If you guys are unable to unmute also, please drop your query on the chat so that Akshay can read that question to me and I can help you answer on that.
Ma'am, there was one question that was posted a while back. Could I ask you that?
Yeah, please,
in the
please
chat?
do that.
So,
Yeah.
ma'am, question is from Shreya Mathur. That she has written, ma'am, I would like to ask a question on respect of HR. What initiatives as an individual do you take to ensure that you are growing and chasing others as well with yourself?
Okay. So Shreya, just to sorry for missing it out. Just to answer it before moving ahead. See, as a HR person, I feel you should be as much creative you can. It is not that, because HR is अलग प्रोसेस होती है मार्केटिंग से, लेकिन वो है मार्केटिंग ही. आप अपनी कंपनी बेचते हो कैंडिडेट को, कैंडिडेट अपने को बेचता है आपको. That candidate sells himself to you so that he can get placed in your company, and you sell your company so that the candidate can join you. So it's a proper way of marketing. तो आप जितने क्रिएटिव हो सकते हो, आपको नेगोशिएशन करने आनी चाहिए, आपको एक कैंडिडेट को मोल्ड करना आना चाहिए. अगर कोई कैंडिडेट आपसे क्वेश्चन ये पूछता है कि अच्छा आपकी कंपनी कितनी पुरानी है और कितना टर्नओवर है, सो आप टर्नओवर तो गूगल से निकाल लोगे, लेकिन आप उसे मोल्ड कैसे करोगे कि वो आपकी कंपनी ज्वाइन करे. तो आप उसे आप सिंपल सा उसे मोल्डेड आंसर दे दो उस टाइम पे कि वी आर प्लानिंग, माई करंट टर्नओवर इज 10 लाख रुपीज, बट वी आर प्लानिंग so that we can within next 5 years we will be turning it to 1 crore. People would like कि हाँ आपका एक फ्यूचर विजन है, फ्यूचर गोल है, तो आप वो अचीव करोगे. यू आर अ बडिंग स्टार्टअप. तो अगर आप ऐसे आंसर दोगे ना, मतलब जितना क्रिएटिव और आउट ऑफ बॉक्स होकर आप आंसर करोगे एज अ HR पर्सन टू एनी वन हु इज आस्किंग टू एनी क्वेश्चन, उतना ही बेटर आपकी थिंकिंग एबिलिटी होगी. So as a HR person, you should focus on your thinking ability, you should focus on your negotiations, and rightly you should focus on your personality. आजकल का वर्ल्ड सिनेरियो एज इन स्पेसिफिकली इंडियन सिनेरियो ये कहता है कि रिक्रूटर तो कोई भी बन सकता है. आई एग्री, रिक्रूटर कोई भी बन सकता है, क्योंकि लोगों को लगता है कि दे जस्ट नीड टू कॉल एंड इंटरव्यू द कैंडिडेट, बाकी तो हमारे बाकी डिपार्टमेंट संभाल लेंगे. ऑफर लेटर अकाउंटेंट बना के दे देगा, CTC एनेक्सर रिलीज हो जाएगा, मैं सब कुछ कर लूँगी. लेकिन थिंकिंग एबिलिटी, पर्सनालिटी एंड कॉम स्किल्स अगर ये नहीं है ना, तो आप बस एक मीडियोकर रिक्रूटर बन के रह जाओगे. यू विल नॉट गो एनीवेयर. So it would be really great if you improve and work on these skills. Am I clear, Shreya? So keep reading. I hope you guys are active on LinkedIn. There are many pages which are related to HR. Try to follow those and be active on the communications which are going on. I'll tell you those pages names as well. One is HR corporation to corporation. Please join that. There are many leaders who are posting on these. Debates होती हैं उस पे. People can comment what is the present scenario in HR. So be active on that page. Those who are wanting to pursue actual career in HR. Okay. So now moving ahead, I already explained what is talent acquisition and talent management. So talent acquisition is basically acquiring the candidates. Attract करना है, hire करना है. Talent management is moving ahead with retention and managing their skills. अगर अक्षय HR एनालिस्ट के रोल में इन्फोसिस में सेलेक्ट हो जाता है, उसे आगे किसी प्रोजेक्ट में दूसरे किसी टूल की ज़रूरत है और उसे को उसकी ट्रेनिंग नहीं आती है, तो अक्षय उस क्लाइंट के लिए वर्क नहीं कर पाएगा. तो उसे ट्रेन करना ज़रूरी है कि वो आगे मूव कर पाए. तो वहाँ पे हुआ हमारा टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट. अगर उसको वो टूल पे काम नहीं आता होगा और ट्रेनिंग नहीं देंगे हम, देन ही वोंट स्टे विद अस, ही विल लीव अस. तो दिस इज टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट फॉर एन HR एनालिस्ट. स्ट्रैटेजिक टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट बस सिंपल सी एक लाइन है, उसको मतलब सिंपल सा उसमें यही रूल है कि आपको स्ट्रैटेजीज बनानी है. अ HR पर्सन शुड नो कि उसके पास क्या पूल है और उस पूल को फ्यूचर में क्या नीड होगी. क्योंकि हम इतना ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजिकली इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं, हर दिन कोई ना कोई फ़ोन में आप देखोगे आपका सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट मांगता है, लैपटॉप में सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट मांगता है, क्योंकि हर चीज़ में आजकल अपडेशन हो रही है इतनी. तो आपको स्ट्रैटेजिकली मूव करना पड़ेगा कि नहीं, मेरे को इस पार्ट पे अपडेट करना है अपने को. तो आप उसकी ट्रेनिंग लो, इनसाइट्स लो, किसी भी पर्सन से टच में रहो जिसे वो स्किल आता है. अब सपोजिटली AI इज एंटरिंग, राइट, AI इज गोइंग एवरीवेयर, तो वो HR में भी आ रहा है. स्पेसिफिकली HR एनालिटिक्स में सबसे ज़्यादा यूज हो रहा है आजकल. सो आई फील जिसको भी HR एनालिटिक्स में जाना है उसे AI इन HR पे एक रिसर्च स्टडी पढ़नी चाहिए, सो दैट पर्सन कैन एक्चुअली नो. AI कैन वाइप आउट द होल HR प्रोसेस, बट एक होता है पर्सनल टच, वो AI नहीं दे पाएगा कभी. तो वो चीज़ बाकी सब चीज़ों को हटा देगा AI, लेकिन वो पर्सनल टच नहीं ला पाएगा. तो HR पर्सनल्स वुड बी नीडेड, बट विद द एक्सपोजर टू AI थिंग, कि मेरा HR पर्सनल का काम इतना रह जाए, बाकी सब AI कर दे. So strategic talent management is basically moving ahead with how you will manage your talent and retain them by moving with a strategy. Right? Any doubts as of now, anyone?
Ma'am, I had a question regarding talent acquisition.
Yes,
It just popped up right now. So basically, when it comes to talent acquisition, you hear about many of these companies, like not companies, but websites like Glassdoor, and that give reviews on from recruitment process to compensation practices to work culture, ethics. They all give reviews on every parameter employees give, right? And it's all confidential about the data of employees. But the let's say there are 100 employees and they give 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 in the recruitment policy of a particular company. So does that do companies take that on a serious note, or do they ignore? Do they tend to ignore these reviews that are given on such websites?
Okay. So Akshay, it's quite similar to a review which a movie gets, right? We let's take a example of 20 people. Out of 20 people, 5 people said it was a very boring movie. I would like to give 1 star. 5 say I enjoyed it. Let's give it 3. So other 10 say it's a so-so movie. I would give only 2. तो जो रेटिंग आएगी वो तो एवरेज आ जाएगी इनकी. लेकिन हर एक जिसने भी मूवी देखी, हर एक इंसान का एक्सपीरियंस अलग था. तो आप बेकार रिव्यूज तो पढ़ रहे हो, लेकिन जिन्होंने अच्छे रिव्यूज लिखे हैं आप वो इग्नोर कर रहे हो उन बेकार रिव्यूज के लिए. तो कंपनीज डू टेक नोट ऑफ दीज थिंग्स एंड दे ट्राई टू ओनली प्रोसेस दोज वंस जिससे उनकी इमेज बहुत डाउन जा रही है. अच्छे तो वो रखते ही रखते हैं, अच्छे तो वो अपनी वेबसाइट पे पेस्ट करेंगे. आप कभी भी किसी कंपनी की वेबसाइट खोलोगे, किसी क्लाइंट ने अगर अच्छे से लिखा होगा ना दैट दे हेल्प मी अ लॉट इन दिस प्रोजेक्ट, वो लाइन पेस्ट करके वेबसाइट पे चिपकाएंगे. लेकिन वही अपना रिव्यू जो उनका खराब आया है ना, उसे चुपचाप से सुधार कर आगे बढ़ जाएंगे. तो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज व्हेन वी से सक्सेस को हमेशा दिखाना चाहिए, फेलियर को नहीं, ताकि आपसे जो लोग हैं ना वो सीखे आपकी सक्सेस से कि आप फेलियर करके ही सक्सेस पे बढ़े हो. ठीक है. सो वी डू टेक नोट्स ऑफ दीज थिंग्स एज वेल. मैनी कंपनीज डू टेक, और वो फिर उस एम्प्लॉय को फ़ोन करती हैं. दिस थिंग कैन बी वेरी मच क्लियर्ड व्हेन यू गाइज, अगर आपने एग्जिट इंटरव्यूज के बारे में पढ़ा होगा. So this things comes into play when we discuss then with a candidate or with a employee कि exit interview में we take a proper feedback कि कैसा रहा आपका जर्नी ओवरऑल, क्या चीज़ हम इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं, क्या चीज़ बहुत अच्छी थी आपकी प्रोसेस में. So this is what comes into play with exit interviews. That is why exit interviews have now taken up a good step in the whole HR process. Right. So moving ahead. Now let's talk about international human resource management with talent acquisition. इंटरनेशनल ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ जो हमारी कंट्री से या बाहर की कंट्री से लोग इंडिया आते हैं काम करने, उन्हें कैसे मैनेज करना है बस वो बताता है. राइट. सबसे कॉमन अप्रोच जो आजकल हर MNC ट्राई कर रही है दैट इज जियो सेंट्रिक अप्रोच. जियो सेंट्रिक अप्रोच कुछ नहीं कहती, वो कहती है कहीं भी बैठा हो हमारा कैंडिडेट, let's say he's sitting in US, if he's comfortable to work in India, let him stay there and work for our company. If you are comfortable to work for US company sitting in India, you are free to work. वो ये नहीं कहते कि नहीं मुझे तो US based citizen ही चाहिए. I can have any citizen working anywhere but work for me for these hours. So this is just the general approach for international human resource management. Plus, when it comes to talent acquisition and international human resource management, there are a lot of compliances which have to be taken care of. Compliances include कि whether that person को कौन सा वीज़ा मिलेगा to go and work there, और कितने ड्यूरेशन का मिलेगा. So ये सब चीज़ें HR people को ही ध्यान रखनी होती हैं कि I have to get this candidate onboarded for this project and he has to go to Singapore. So I need to find his accommodation. I need to check with his what would be the total compensation to company, that I'll be sending this person, this is what the salary he'll be getting, and this is what his other expenses would include, such as home allowance, traveling allowance, then family assurance allowance. So this is what the HR personnel takes care. So these are the compliances basically which the international human resource managers take care. They allow a person to go. You are free to go and work anywhere in this world, but you need to have certain compliances which the company only offers you to follow. If the company gets rejected, then you are not allowed to go out, right? So summing it up just for you, that talent acquisition लगता तो बहुत बड़ा है, but it is just a very basic thing जो कि एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट है एक बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का. अगर आप टैलेंट एक्वायर नहीं करोगे, आपके बिजनेस फंक्शन वर्क नहीं करेंगे, आपके प्रोजेक्ट्स कंप्लीट नहीं होंगे, आपका टर्नओवर एज इन कॉस्ट टर्नओवर नहीं आएगा, आप ब्रेक इवन मैच नहीं कर पाओगे. सो टैलेंट एक्विजिशन इज अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग, बट इट नीड्स टू बी टेकन केयर द मोस्ट. आपको उसकी प्रोसेस को बहुत ध्यान से करना पड़ेगा. अगर आप नहीं कर पाओगे उसको, तो आपकी बिजनेस फंक्शनिंग खत्म हो जाएगी. Okay, so I'll let you know the current trends which are going on in talent acquisition now. So since we are in 2022, 2 years past the pandemic, so these are the current trends which you will be seeing when you are like getting into the industry. First thing, pandemic has changed the whole scenario of the so-called office thing. Everything has gone virtual now. You don't need to be in office anymore. Coming to great resignation, this is what I talked about in the very initial beginning of the session. Great resignation is that a group of people quitting their jobs at a single time, which is currently happening in all over the industry, only because people are getting good opportunities, so they are ready to resign and opt those opportunities. अब कोई भी एम्प्लॉय लॉयल नहीं रह गया किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से. People who are serving their notices, as in notices, tend to even do not serve the notice. They say, relieve me as soon as possible. I am not going to serve any more 90 days of notice. Then if great resignation is there, so there is another concept which is booming, that is great rehires. As said, if Akshay is joining Infosys, then he is resigning Deloitte and he is getting rehired for Infosys. Same thing will happen. Akshay will fill someone's position in Infosys, so that person comes in great resignation, and then he'll be getting great rehires in somewhat another organization. So this is the whole cycle which is being followed today in the industry. Everyone, most of the people today, you can say almost 70% of the total population of a company is resigning and getting rehired somewhere. Either they are getting retained, or they are getting rehired to another big company or to a smaller one with a very good package. These are some of the trends which are going on. I'll just tell you these. 65% of the candidates now want to work remote. They do not want to go to office. They only want to work from home. I like call some of the candidates who I get the resume, and they are a very good fit for an organization. But I am like looking for someone who can join me in Gurgaon. If I have to talk to that candidate simply asks me 2 questions. First is that, is it work from home at the moment? Okay, if I'll answer him that currently it is, but whenever the situation would improve, you might be called to office. So that candidate answers me, no, I am looking for a permanent work from home. So 65% of the population has moved to now permanent work from home or either remote working options. And then 30% wants hybrid work options. I feel you know what hybrid model has come up with. It's like out of a week or 5 days, you are only going to office once. So it's a once a week now. Or you can say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or like 2 days in a week. So this is what hybrid model is. Then it's so much great resignation and great rehires that candidates have now become frustrated as well. That मैंने एक कंपनी में 1 महीने पहले इंटरव्यू दिया था, उन्होंने पोजीशन होल्ड पे कर दी, मेरा ऑफर लेटर ही रिलीज नहीं हुआ. So this is what is happening today in this scenario, that many of the candidates are getting frustrated because of the lack of transparency. Frankly speaking, let's ask Unnati since she has already done hirings and recruitments. Unnati, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. So Unnati, let me know what was the transparency if you have to tell a candidate that he is not a suitable fit for the organization. Like, did you tell him on the face, or did you first make some of the excuses and then let him know?
We actually formed a basic message for all the candidates who were who did not qualify, and we send the message on LinkedIn to them or
Okay.
mail them.
Okay. So, like any of the candidates got in touch with you regarding the feedback again and again that why I am rejected, what was the reason?
Yes, yes. Like there
So,
were only a few
Sonalika, may I
candidates who
ask a
did so.
question to you?
Yes,
Uh,
Mona ma'am, please.
Yeah, Sonalika, as you deal with this sort of things that you were not actually trained like during your joining time also. So, what are the stressors like if you don't talk about the employment area, self-management? So, do you think sometimes the stress takes place, and what are the stressors as a recruiter, and how do you manage them?
Ma'am, I'll talk about the present company I'm working for. Since I'm working for a recruitment firm at the moment, we do have a pressure, as in you can say a stressor of getting the candidate hired. So when there is a ditching game, we have to find the replacement in like a week, and sometimes it's not possible. So then we try all our sources, including LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, but we don't find the candidate. So then we just drop a very formal mail that please allow us a month's time so that we can help you with the replacement thing. Because companies want the replacement to be taken care in a week time, but it's not possible. That
So, do
candidate.
you think more jobs in the market they may come, like the students who are attending in their planning, they may get good opportunities in coming times because of the current scenario?
Sure, ma'am. I would definitely say that they'll be getting because that was only in 2020 that people were getting fired a lot, and especially those people who were like newly joined. So now it's nothing like that. Companies have become quite stable. Economies have also become stable now. So the rehiring process has started. So there is a very good opportunity, and I would say try to always grab a IT company nowadays because IT industry is at the par now. Go for Infosys, HCL, IBM. There are a lot of companies, EY, but get a desired role you are having. Not कि कुछ भी मिल गया किसी भी HCL के call center में आपने join कर लिया. Don't do that. Go for the desired role you are wanting. अंडर प्रेशर मत आना कि नहीं उसकी तो लग गई मेरी नहीं लगी, घर वाले बोलेंगे कि अब तो तुमने MBA कर लिया है नौकरी कर लो. तो डोंट बी अंडर प्रेशर. अभी नहीं लगेगी तो 2 महीने बाद लग जाएगी, लेकिन लगेगी जरूर. माय ओनली सजेशन वुड बी टू ट्राई इन द IT इंडस्ट्री नाउ, IT और बैंकिंग सेक्टर. ICICI Lombard and ICICI Bank, HDFC, HSBC are like on a hiring spree. So try to go to the career pages, apply. Analyst positions comes a lot. And my second suggestion would be do not go to better.com because they are on great like
They are
attrition.
towards the third phase of firing, layoffs.
Yes, so they are at the peak of laying off employees. I am quite active on LinkedIn, and like people are sending me their resumes that ma'am, I'm eager to join any organization, immediately available, please get me something. Because what Better does is that they give you a lot of hike. Like if you are on a package of 5 LPA, they'll give you 15 LPA, but after like 6 months, they'll let you know that you are going to be saying bye bye to us. So what is the point of going for that company where you know that you will be on a firing spree? So please, I would suggest go to any of the IT company, but do not go to better.com at the moment. उसका फ्यूचर किसी को नहीं पता है अभी. IT इंडस्ट्री में आप किसी भी कंपनी में चले जाओ, इवन ट्राई टू गो टू अ IT स्टार्टअप. अगर स्टार्टअप में जाके सीखोगे ना तो वो लर्निंग बहुत अलग रहेगी. जैसे उन्नति का एक्सपीरियंस एक IT स्टार्टअप से है, शी इज़ क्वाइट वेल अवेयर कि रिक्रूटमेंट्स कैसे होती है IT इंडस्ट्री में, क्योंकि उसने वहाँ पे सब चीज़ें करी हैं. आईटी स्टार्टअप में ना बड़ा डिपार्टमेंट नहीं होता किसी भी चीज़ का, 2-3 एचआर के बंदे होंगे लेकिन वो ही सारा काम करेंगे। सो उससे आपकी लर्निंग इतनी स्ट्रांग हो जाती है ना कि आपको फिर उसका एक ही पार्ट मिले किसी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में करने के लिए, यू विल बी द बेस्ट एट इट। So go for right now. My suggestion to everybody would be update your resumes. उसमें keywords डालो, जैसे if Akshay wants to go for an HR analyst role, आप analyst अपना keyword डालो और analyst पे आपने जितने projects करे हैं वो mention करो। Analyst HR analyst के tools होते हैं, अगर आपको उन tools की knowledge है आप वो mention करो, ताकि आपका resume जब keyword से search हो किसी भी कैंडिडेट सिस्टम में तो आप हाईलाइट हो, क्योंकि आपके जैसे बहुत लोग हैं। यू हैव टू स्टैंड आउट नाउ। सो कमिंग बैक टू द ट्रेंड्स अगेन, 33% of the candidates want to view career growth more than the factor choosing an employer. So as stated by Yashika and Unnati, जब अक्षय का हम सिनेरियो डिस्कस कर रहे थे, उन्होंने बोला था कि आप सीनियर एचआर एनालिस्ट के रोल पे जाओ क्योंकि आपका करियर ग्रोथ दिख रहा है उधर, राइट? तो वो परसेंटेज 33% लोगों का ही है, तो बाकी जो 67% है वो अभी भी मनी और अपनी ड्रीम कंपनी देखते हैं। तो ये चीज़ आजकल के करंट ट्रेंड्स में है। देन मूविंग अहेड, दिस इज व्हाट द करंट कैंडिडेट्स वांटिंग. So this is what it is: flexibility and then transparency. Flexibility in terms of working, work culture, then anything, as in if you want to like take a week off, you can take a week off, then you can start the project again. So this is the word flexibility here means. If you want to work from home, you are allowed to work, and if you want to go and opt for a organization which is calling you for half an hour in a day or like for half day, you are good to go. Transparency is in terms, if I have to talk about here, is that there should be a complete transparency whether you will be promoted or not, whether you'll be getting your salary hike or not, whether we are finding your replacement, because sometimes people also do get fired according to their performances. So it should be always there that the transparency is there in the organization. Third thing would be career growth. Everyone today is not looking at what the company is offering. They are wanting their career to boom in terms of both money and the role and their learning. So it is another thing which is today what the candidates are wanting. Lastly, health and wellness policy. I highlighted this thing because of the only COVID situation here, since it is impacting human beings so much. Many of the companies didn't have anything known as health and wellness policy as of now, but after the pandemic they have initiated it. They are in touch with many of the insurance companies these days, such as any of the insurance, Max Bupa, Sun Life Insurance, asking them to please insure their employees of amount of anything, so that anything arises such as COVID or something, they can help their employees in that time. I'll let you know that TCS was only the company in this entire world that did not lay off their employees in 2020. Neither they have done it till now, and they have paid huge sum of amounts for the families of their employees who were fighting COVID. So this is what every company has now opted. बाकी हर कंपनी ने अपने एम्प्लॉयज ले ऑफ करे थे एक्सेप्ट TCS. So like TCS, Infosys are the companies which candidates go for. Then candidate experience is a key to less candidate turnover. Candidate turnover, I mean to say, is the ditching game in the industry. अगर कैंडिडेट का एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा रहा होगा आपके साथ, या उसके नोन में कुछ ऐसा होगा, या कुछ उसे ऐसी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली होगी कि हाँ इनका प्रोजेक्ट अच्छा आने वाला है, इनके इंटरव्यूज जल्दी हुए हैं, इनका फीडबैक जल्दी आया है, तो वो ही वुड बी ईगर टू ज्वाइन. If I have to talk about my experience dealing with candidate experience, would be, I would say, one of my candidates from Infosys, as I gave an example, is not joining me anymore. But she called me and told me first that she'll not be joining, then informing the HCL party. She was hired for HCL, but did not join HCL. And without accepting the offer, she called me first and let me know, telling me that, hi Sonalika, I'll not be joining. Really sorry for this, but due to that, Infosys is sending me to a foreign location now for a project. So I'll be like much more eager to do that. So I am putting off my papers now. So this is what candidate experience is, that she wants to be, the first information she'll be giving you is to you, because I was the point of contact for her. So she informed me that everything went on smoothly, but since I have now got the on-site opportunity, so I will not be joining anymore. So this is what it is. अगर कैंडिडेट का एक्सपीरियंस आपकी पूरी प्रोसेस के साथ अच्छा होगा, वो बिल्कुल ज्वाइन करेगा आपको. उसे अगर ट्रांसपेरेंसी मिलेगी कि क्या रोल होने वाला है उसका, क्या टीम हैंडल करेगा वो, क्या कंपनी आगे फ्यूचर में देना चाहती है, तो वो बिल्कुल ज्वाइन करेगा. मूविंग अहेड, टिप्स फॉर यू स्टूडेंट्स नाउ. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अपना लिंक्डइन सब अपडेट कर लो. Try to be in touch with as many recruiters as you can, as many HR professionals, industry leaders you can. जितने रिक्रूटर्स को आप ऐड करोगे लिंक्डइन पे, वो बहुत ज़्यादा, आजकल लिंक्डइन हम लोग सोर्सिंग के लिए यूज़ करते हैं, तो सोर्सिंग में आपकी बहुत हेल्प होगी. यू विल बी एबल टू सी कि हाँ बहुत सारी जॉब्स पोस्ट आ रही हैं, आई थिंक दिस इज़ रेलिवेंट फॉर मी, लेट्स अप्लाई. तो प्लीज़ बी एक्टिव ऑन लिंक्डइन. सेकेंडली इज नौकरी. नौकरी आई मीन इज naukri.com. आप सब अपना, सिंस यू आर थर्ड ईयर स्टूडेंट्स, डोंट बी एंटायरली डिपेंड ऑन द प्लेसमेंट सेल. अगर आपको खुद से भी मिल रही है कोई जॉब, देन बी वेरी हैप्पी सो दैट यू कैन हेल्प द प्लेसमेंट सेल. आप उनके पास लेकर आ सकते हो अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो ट्राई टू बी एक्टिव ऑन naukri.com, अपडेट योर CVs and put them. And if you are getting any call from any recruiter, please have a clear discussion that what is the job offering and what would be the pay and what would be the working hours. Then this is what I talked about since the whole session, key skills. अगर की स्किल्स आपको जज करने हैं तो आप उनसे डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछ लो कि ये कैसे होएगा आपके काम में. भले ही आपको वो काम नहीं आता हो, लेकिन अगर उसने कॉन्फिडेंटली आंसर कर दिया तो इसका मतलब हाँ उसने काम किया है. I'll give you example. Since I'm into technical recruitments now, I am hiring for technologies such as big data developers, cloud developers, AWS, Azure. मेरे को नहीं आता किसी पे भी काम यार, मैं तो सिर्फ एक HR पर्सनल हूँ, मुझे थोड़ी आता है इन सब पे काम. लेकिन जब भी मैं क्वेश्चनिंग करती हूँ, अगर उस कैंडिडेट ने कॉन्फिडेंटली बता दिया मुझे और उसने मुझे इन डेप्थ बता दी उसकी, तो इसका मतलब उसे जेन्युइनली काम आता है उस पर. तो लुक फॉर की स्किल्स. अपने की स्किल्स पे वर्क करो. अपने की स्किल्स के सारे जितने भी रिलेटेड कोर्सेज हैं या इम्प्रूवमेंट टेक्निक्स हैं उसे करो. अपने रेज्यूम्स में अपने की स्किल्स बहुत अच्छे से मेंशन करो. सपोजिटली अगर आपको एनालिटिक्स में जाना है, एनालिटिक्स के बहुत सारे कोर्सेज हैं, ट्राई टू डू इट. एनालिटिक्स के बहुत सारे टूल्स हैं. Oracle HCM है, प्लीज़ गो एंड ट्राई टू लर्न Oracle HCM. वो Oracle कंपनी का ही प्रोडक्ट है. Oracle is looking for people who are into Oracle HCM. So you might get into a good company if you are on that, and they pay you good as well for a fresher level entry job too. So work on these skills. Then the other thing is that अपने रेज्यूम में झूठ मत बोलो यार. बहुत से सीरीज आते हैं जिसमें झूठ ही लिखा होता है. वो बंदा एक आंसर नहीं कर पा रहा होता और वो लिख देता है सब कुछ. किसी का भी रेज्यूम कॉपी मत करो. डू मेक योर ओन CV. आप भले ही सेम पेज पे काम कर रहे हो दोनों या सेम प्रोजेक्ट्स करें, लेकिन आपकी लर्निंग उस जॉब से कुछ और होगी और उसकी लर्निंग कुछ और होगी. सो डोंट लाई ऑन द रेज्यूम और CV. डू नॉट कॉपी फ्रॉम अदर्स ऑन द CV पार्ट at least, right? The next thing I would say, choose the role or learning, not the money. This is in terms of that. If I have to talk about, if I'll say supposedly I'll be now switching a company again in some future domain, I'll be going to be an HR manager, right? And I'll be completely moving separate from recruitments. तो मेरी लर्निंग क्या होगी उसमें? जब मेरा पूरा कोर ही रिक्रूटमेंट्स है तो मैं रिक्रूटमेंट्स में ही आगे मूव करना चाहूँगी ना. आई वुड लाइक टू गो फॉर अ HR मैनेजर हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर रिक्रूटमेंट्स, नॉट फॉर द एंटायर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और जर्नलिस्ट रोल. यहाँ जनरल वर्क नहीं करना है मेरे को यार. आई वुड लाइक टू गो फॉर अ HR मैनेजर हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर रिक्रूटमेंट्स. Frankly speaking, I am into recruitment only because I like talking to people. I like interviewing them. So those who can do wonders in while interviewing a candidate are a very good fit for a recruiter role. So this is what the session was all about. Bring on the questions and queries now, everyone. I'll stop sharing the screen now, right?
And there was a wonderful presentation by you, ma'am. I believe that a lot of kids would have learned, a lot of students sitting here would have learned something. I had a question. So, ma'am, there is something called, I was in an internship a few months back, and there's a terminology called sprint, where companies tend to make, like when I was working as a HR intern, so my manager would always focus that I should focus on sprints where I would make tasks in a timely bound system. So, but when I used to make these sprints, I used to face a lot of difficulty in the sense that how do I allot time, as in terms of, let's say, hours to a particular task, or how do I allot time to a particular task in, let's say, number of days. And even the people who are working with me who are interns, like product developers and in the IT interns, all of them had the same problem, ma'am. And even till date also, if I try to make a sprint, let's say in a company, I am somewhat unable to make one because I'm not able to decide how many hours do I give to a task. So, ma'am, as a technical recruiter, how do you make a sprint, and how do you dedicate those number of hours? And what happens when let's say if you write let's say if one task was supposed to be 5 hours, but you do it in 3. So what happens then?
Akshay, I would like to answer this question that since currently I am into L2 role, as in I am into technical recruitment, so I do have a team lead above me. She assigns a sprint, right? So if she is assigning me that, Sonalika, you need to cover today Java developer by 12 p.m. So starting my office at 10 a.m. and I need to finish by 12 p.m. I have only 2 hours. So I have already got the deadline of completing in 2 hours. I'll try to work accordingly, right? So if I have to create a sprint for my junior, since I'm leading and mentoring some of my team members right now, I'll assign them that I need to cover Java developers with like 10 CVs, as in 10 close candidates for the interview round by 12. So I'll be assigning, supposedly you guys are in my team. So I'll assign Akshay that I need 2 CVs from you within 30 minutes. I'll need 2 CVs from Shreya. I'll need 2 CVs from Yashika. I'll need 2 CVs from Unnati. So 8 are done from your end within 2 hours. 2 from you, 2 from her, 2 from her, 2 from her. 8 are done and I'll do 2 from my end. So this is how you need to focus on the sprint timing. Right? So this is how we manage our sprints. That if the deadline is given to us, I need to focus how I need to do. And if working on individual basis, then the individual timing would be that in half an hour I need to close 4, any case. So if you are given 5 hours of time and you have given 3 hours, then it means that the work can be done within 3 hours. And not even 3, it could be done a time much less than 3 hours. So 3 hours is the maximum you have to do it. So always allocate the sprint timing at least 1 hour less so that the speed up can come. So this is what you need to do.
Okay. My next question, ma'am, would be normally we talked about recruitment process and we talked about ditching. But ma'am, what happens when you hire someone and that person does not match what what was displayed during the interview? That he was he displayed a lot of confidence. He knew all his stuff, but when it comes to actual work, he is not able to perform that much what he said. So, ma'am, in such cases, what do you do, or what does the company tend to do?
Akshay, the real world scenario says for a single position, we close 2 candidates, as in 2 offers are released, right? With 2 different dates of joining. One candidate would be joining me in May, and the other would be joining me in June. So this is how we manage it. I think this answers my question. That is, ditching game is also there. Ditching would not be done because if the May candidate does not join me, I have a joining from June. And if the May candidate does not meet my expectation, then I have a candidate who is going to join me in June. So
Um,
this is what every recruiter should do. He should keep one position on one person on hold for the position he is closing.
we have a question from Yashika Jain also.
Yeah.
So, Yashika, please go ahead.
Yashika, switch on your camera first.
Yes.
Hand raising नहीं चलेगा.
Ma'am, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, so ma'am, I had a question. Like, is there any specific technique used by the companies to hire the perfect person for a job?
No. There is no technique defined in this world to get the perfect match. It's only dependent whether they can see. No one is perfect in this world, first of all. So no one is perfectly matched with the perfect job. It's only relevant that how much he's matching to the job role.
Yes, ma'am.
If he is matching 70% and if he is eager so that he can match up those 30% lacking or learn that he is perfect match for us. So that is how the industry works.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Unnati. Hi.
So I wanted to ask that since
Sorry,
nowadays diverse.
whosoever is asking the questions has to on their cameras.
Alright.
Yeah.
Am I visible?
Yes.
So my question was that nowadays diversity is something that workplace diversity is something that a lot of freshers and a lot of possible candidates are looking forward to. So how does diversity impact your decision making when you're hiring? Like, does it have an impact, or how exactly do you manage that diversity?
Unnati, I'm seeing you for the first time. You look like me a lot as in a decent student. As in what I mean to say is that I like the question. Diversity is what everybody is looking for, but talking to a specific role, sometimes diversity does not work. As in, supposedly, I'm just giving you a fake scenario. If I am hiring for a person who is having 10 years of experience, and that profile needs that person to work from 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. or
Okay.
4 a.m. the next day. So definitely females who are married won't be able to do that job because they do have a family to take care. They have to prepare the dinner and everything. There are females who are eager to work, but that ratio of females comes down to only 30%. But a male is always on the upper hand for a night shift role. Also, uh, females nowadays I am seeing if I have to talk about diversity, पहले ये होता था कि only girls will go into HR or teaching, but now you can see that your classmates are boys who are interested for a HR role. I have seen HR managers. I have my team lead is a male and he is like so good into recruitments. I am like totally blown off when I saw his approach towards hiring. So diversity has changed within the organizations, and the diversity due to this diversity thing, the work culture has also changed. If you were talking about diversity, I would like to give you one example also. You must have all heard of Zomato.
Yeah.
Yes. So, really sorry for giving you this example, but this is the example which every organization should now adapt, right? They are giving their female employees a leave every month, right? So I don't think I need to explain this on this much more. I hope you will understand, right? So this thing is only because they now have a diversical workforce with them. They have a good number of female employees working in their company. So that is why they have opted for this decision, understanding which is a very strategic move that their employees, female employees need this sort of leave so that they can be more productive next day. So this is only
Right.
because of the diversical, strategical thinking.
All right.
Yes. Any other query, anyone?
Okay, so I think there are no more questions, and we are moving towards the end of the session.
Yes.
Kashish has a question, I think. Kashish, can you switch on your camera?
Am I visible?
Yes, Kashish. Hi.
Hi, it was very nice listening to you. You sound very confident and I really liked it. But my question is, what are the screening methods which will help us to take interviews? I gave an interview and she asked me what are the screening methods that you would use while interviewing. So,
Okay. So,
yeah.
Kashish, just let me know what were the internships you have worked for, as in what
I
was.
have worked for Lenskart for 45 days as a talent management under her I have worked.
Okay.
So I had to look for the not a lot, but I had to just look for the details that they have sent in. Are they specific to what they have filled in with the forms? That was my job there.
Okay. So you didn't interview anyone at that moment, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So your manager asked you, or the role you have applied for recently asked you that what are the sourcing methods, right? So first of all, I would say do not ask the interview straightforward questions, but ask just in a light way. Ask her, you mean to say how will I source a candidate, or you want me to answer like how will I understand from the CV, right? Because the question she asked you was a very vague question. Sourcing method, you all know that is from some agency or from some portal, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Naukri. So these are all sourcing approaches or methods. But from a CV, how will you source if a CV pool, how you have to source? I generally use this method, that is of key skill searching. That I'll open every CV on my ATS. ATS is basically applicant tracking system, right? I'll open every CV on that and I'll put in the keywords. If that CV or resume have those key skills, then that will show me that these resumes are having these key skills. So then my sourcing comes down to a very smaller part. I don't need to screen every resume now. I'll only screen those resumes जिसमें वो key skill है. Right? One more thing, since you will be starting as a fresher, don't fear that you asking questions would do anything to your career. अपने इंटरव्यू से क्वेश्चन पूछो, सच एज कि कितने पुरानी कंपनी है, कितना टर्नओवर है, कितना, और ना हमेशा हर इंटरव्यू से पहले अपनी कंपनी के बारे में पढ़ के जाना. एज एन ऑलवेज गो प्रिपेयर्ड कि क्या कंपनी करती है, क्या उसका लास्ट ईयर का फीडबैक रहा है. और आई वुड डेफिनेटली से कुछ एम्प्लॉयज से ना लिंक्डइन पे कनेक्ट कर लेना, उनके प्रीवियस जो उनके करंट सिनेरियो में वर्क कर रहे हैं, छोड़ चुके हैं, सो दैट दे कैन लेट यू नो द एक्सपीरियंस दे हैव, राइट? तो दीज आर सम ऑफ द थिंग्स आपको इंटरव्यू में दूसरों से भी पूछनी चाहिए. इंटरव्यू में मतलब डर के मत जाना कि नहीं यार ये नहीं मिलेगा तो घर पे बहुत डांट पड़ेगी, ये मत सोचना. क्योंकि ना क्या होता है, अगर आप इंटरव्यू में सब हाँ करते हैं, हंसते रहते हैं कि यस मैम आई विल डू इट, आई एम वेरी ईगर फॉर दिस जॉब, आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट दैट आई विल ग्रो अहेड, राइट? तो वो चीज़ मत करना. आप अपना उन्हें बता दो बहुत क्लियर कट. जैसे अब लोग क्या करने लगे हैं, specifically female employees, they say very clearly that I have a very small baby, I won't be able to log in before 11 a.m. तो उनका लॉगिन आवर्स भी चेंज हो जाता है, फिर वो 11 to 8 की शिफ्ट करते हैं. वो इंटरव्यू में ये चीज़ें क्लियर करने लग गए हैं. तो वो भी क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग करते हैं, आपको भी करनी चाहिए, सो दैट यू ऑल्सो नो कि आप किस इंडस्ट्री में स्टेप इन कर रहे हो, क्या उनका वो है करंट फीचर, अभी कितनी बूम करेगी, कितनी नहीं करेगी. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन, एनीवन? आई होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन, Kashish.
Yes, Mamita. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay, so Sonalika, it was great having you here. Like, I'm
much.
so proud of you, and it has been really nice hearing from you.
Same
And
here.
few years you have grown to be a very, very confident. You were a confident student also, but yes, now you are a confident professional.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was my pleasure. like I like talking, so अच्छा लगा ज्ञान देकर.
I remember you would like to speak earlier also a lot. पहले भी तुम you would talk a lot. So it's the same. I think personality characteristics stay.
It always be there. You
Definitely.
can like change in your get a change in your personality, but attributes तो same रहता है.
Definitely, but it's a good thing. So it was nice, and we
Yeah.
interacted. Oh yeah, and the teachers have also interacted with you. It was so nice to see you back. So, so Mona ma'am, you want to say something?
No, actually, that's a moment of pride for me that she was my student and
Mona ma'am, your connection is, I think, weak. We cannot hear you.
Screen is frozen.
Ah, yes.
must be an internet is an issue. Am I audible now?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was my student. She used to be always ahead and very positive and a good smile on her face. So marketing तो उसके लिए secondary होना ही था. ये तो होना ही था.
Mona ma'am, but she's still doing marketing in her HR job.
Yeah. It is also marketing, like
Yes.
we must say HR talent acquisition
Yes.
is
Very
also.
right.
Thank you, Sonalika, for coming.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Akshay, so you can just close the session after giving a vote of thanks.
Okay, so
वैसे अक्षर है तो हम लोगों को बोलने की कोई खास जरूरत महसूस नहीं हुई.
Yes, Akshay is one energetic student, HR student I have. Apart from there are many others also. So
No,
he's
we
one.
had very good questions as well. Very good questions.
thank you all. So, with a vote of thanks, what a wonderful session. I would like to thank Sonalika ma'am once again for taking out a precious time for us and enlightening us about the industry and today's time. I would also like to thank our Honorable President, Dr. Atul Chauhan, our HOI, and our HOI, Sujata Khandai ma'am. With this, it is a pleasure on behalf of Amity, our faculty, and all participants present here. We would like to thank you for coming once again to our session and making us more knowledgeable today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for hearing these people what patiently.
Thank you, Sonalika. We would love to have you in the campus sometime.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll be there very soon.